Hello friends, welcome back to my channel. I'm C. Shilpa Sarana, and since Exaro Tiles Limited IPO is going live this week, I just thought to make a quick video on the same. If you're new to my channel, don't forget to subscribe my channel. Also, if you like the content of this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up. Please note, this video is for educational purpose only. It's not a recommendation to subscribe for this IPO. So, let's start with today's discussion. So let's talk about the company first. Exaro Tiles Limited is actually engaged in manufacturing and marketing of vitrified tiles which are used in flooring solutions. So basically it makes these kinds of tiles. These are known as vitrified tiles, okay? And the company commenced its business as a partnership firm in 2007 and 8 wherein it was manufacturing frit. So I have attached a picture here. This is actually a frit. So company was into the business of manufacturing this frit, and over the years it has diversified and expanded itself and transformed itself in the manufacturer as a manufacturer of this vitrified tiles. All right. So this company is actually having 6+ sizes of tiles and thousands of designs in its product basket. That means it has very huge ambit of products to offer to its customer. Okay. Now company is operating for more than a decade. So this company is established in the market, we can say, in a way, and also its products are supplied for various projects like residential, commercial, educational institutions, hotels, etc. So for the construction of all these places, it is supplying its tiles. All right. Now this company is having more than 2000 registered dealers. So it is having wide distribution network, which is clear from the huge number of dealers it is having. Okay. Now, if you see the business of this company, it has two main product categories. First one is this double charge vitrified tiles, and second is this glazed vitrified tiles. Okay, so this is the double charge vitrified tiles, and this is an example of glazed vitrified tiles. All right. Now, if just to give you a brief idea, in double charge vitrified tiles, there are basically prints and patterns on the tiles which are given. Okay, and if you talk about glazed vitrified tiles, so basically it's made up of ceramic materials and has glazed material coating over itself. So these are like this. Okay, so now if you see the broad verticals through which the company is generating its revenue, so through its own manufactured product it generates 95% of its revenue, and the second category of revenue is wherein it outsources its manufacturing operations and get it manufactured from other manufacturers and then it sells it. So those contribute to 5% of its revenue, and this other operating revenue is very small, that is 0.03%. Okay. Now, in this self-manufactured category, which is of 95% of its revenue, if you see what are the broad product categories, like we had seen above, right? Double charge vitrified, which is this one. So this printed one. So this contribute to 28% of their sale portfolio, and glazed vitrified tile, that is the second one, contributes to 72%. So this is actually the main product of the company through which it generates its revenue. All right. Now, this company is having 6 display centers in 6 cities and 2 marketing offices. It has 2 manufacturing facilities and both are in Gujarat, and the total installed capacity is 132 lakh square meter per annum. All right. Now, if you see how much sales is from domestic and how much is from export, so domestically the company have pan India presence and it is supplying its products in 27 states, and internationally if you see the company supplies products in over 13+ countries, which include Poland, UAE, Bosnia, etc. So out of the total sales that the company is making, 86% is through domestic sales and 14% is through export sales. All right. If you see the listed competitors of this company, so the listed competitors include Kajaria Ceramics Limited, Asian Granito India Limited, Somani Ceramics, Orient Bell, Murudeshwar Ceramics Limited. All right. Now coming to the financials of the company, if you see as compared to FY19, in FY21, assets have increased, revenues have increased, and so have the profits. All right. But the worth noticing thing is the revenue have very slow growth. So if you see, it is growing at a CAGR of 3.2%, which is very less. But surprisingly, if you see profit, the profit have jumped at a CAGR of 30.7 during the period FY19 to FY21. So as compared to 89, profits have increased to 152 in FY21, and I was trying to understand that how come with such a slow growth in revenue you can get such good profit numbers. So just to give you a basic idea, see, a company can increase its profits in two ways. First one is by selling more products during the year. Second one is through cutting its cost. And what I was able to find, yes, the sales have increased slowly in this year also, but it has done good amount of cost cutting. So even if you see the cost of material consumed, that has reduced, although the quantity produced has increased, but to produce more quantity also they have consumed less raw materials. All right. And also they have decreased their employee benefit expense, that is nothing but the salaries. So this include mostly the salary component, and even this has decreased as compared to FY19. Okay, there is actually 100 plus million difference when you see 2021 as compared to 2019. All right, so these were the main reasons, but according to me, a good growth in profit should be derived through increase in sales. See, cost cutting is one good option, but this is not sustainable. Okay, you can do cost cuttings, but for how long? To survive in the future and to get good profits in the future, you actually need good growth in revenues, not through good amount of cost cuttings. Okay, so now coming to the strengths of this company. So like we have seen, this company manufactures 1,000 plus designs for vitrified tiles, which is a very huge ambit through which customer can choose. Also we had seen it as 2,000 plus dealers, which is again a very big thing. So distribution network is also very strong. Also this company is having one of the largest manufacturing plants of this glazed vitrified tiles in India. All right, now we had seen the company have pan India presence because it had sold its good in 27 different states, and also it is having international presence because it is selling in 13 plus countries, so it has good global presence also. All right, now also the profits we have seen are increasing year on year, but as I told you earlier also, this profit increase is more through cost cutting and less through increase in sales. All right, now coming to weaknesses of this company. So as we have seen, the sales have grown consistently, but it is growing at a snail's pace, so very slow. Okay, now other risks which I found were more of generic in nature, like raw material price fluctuation can have impact on business of this company. Non-availability of power, fuel, water facilities can again impact business of this company. Also this company require intense capital for working, so any inability to meet this working capital requirement can also impact the business of this company. Also, like we have seen that this company is highly dependent on real estate and infrastructure sector for its business. So any downfall in these sectors or any down move in these sectors can have impact on this company also. Okay, now there are other risks also which are mentioned in red herring prospectus, so you guys can go through it if you wish to. All right, now coming to issue details. This IPO is going live on 4th of August and closing on 6th of August, and the price band that has been decided is between 118 to 120. So ideally, if people want to increase their chances for the allotment, you need to quote actually 120 price. So this might increase your chances of allotment, okay, if there is oversubscription. Now the market lot for this share is 125 shares. So if you guys want to apply for this IPO, you have to minimum apply for 125 shares. If this IPO is successful, the shares will be listed at both BSE and NSE. Now the issue size for this IPO is 161.09 crore, and out of this fresh issue is for 134.23 crores and offer for sale is 26.86 crores. Okay, so this offer for sale value is going to go to the promoter and this fresh issue will be used by the company, as you guys all know. So let's see for what purpose this fresh issue is used. So the objectives of this issue is to prepay certain borrowings of the company. So for that they will be using around 50 crore. And then they will use 45 crore for working capital requirement and the remaining will be used for other corporate purposes. All right, now coming to the valuation part of this company. So even at the upper price band, if you take current year's EPS, the PE work out to be 26. All right, and if you take last 3 years average EPS, not current year's EPS, okay, if you take last 3 years average EPS, the PE work out to be 31. So you can say the company is demanding a PE in the range of 26 to 31 for the current issue. Okay, now if you compare this with peers, the highest was for Kajaria Ceramics and which was 51. So as compared to them, it's low. and the lowest was of Asian Granito. The PE was 10.55. As compared to that, it was high. So it is somewhere in between. So if you see the industry PE, it was 47.8 times. So these figures are as of today. So if you compare with industry PE, we can see that the company is demanding a slightly lower PE. Okay, so I can say that it is somewhat cheaply valued. However, just cheaply valued does not mean you should go and subscribe, honestly, guys. Okay, now coming to grey market premium, as of today, when I was checking, the grey market premium for this company was 20 rupees. So for those who don't know, grey market is actually a place where the shares are traded in offline market before the IPO actually get listed on the exchange. All right, now coming to the conclusion part. So like we have seen that there was not much revenue growth in past 3 years. Also, we have seen that the margins were improving or the PAT was improving, but the cost cutting was also one of the factor in that. So it was not much attributable to increase in sales. All right. And we have also seen that the valuation for this company was almost moderately valued. Okay. So it was not towards the lower end also and not towards higher end also. Somewhere in between it was. So now what I feel about this IPO is, considering the current bull run in the market and also the positive sentiment towards this company, which is clear from the grey market premium which we are able to see today, there are high chances that there might be listing gains for this company. All right. But you guys should also re-verify this on day 2 of subscription, wherein you can check how much is subscribed and also what is the grey market premium at that point of time. That might substantiate this belief more. So this listing gains part was for the people who are looking for only listing gains or from short term perspective. Now coming to the people who are thinking to invest from medium to long term. So I feel for those guys, until you guys see revenue growth for this company and good improvement in PATs with other favorable ratios, I feel as of now there is no point of investing in such companies. Alright, so that's all guys from my side. I hope you like the content of this video. In case you do like, please don't forget to give it a thumbs up. Also, don't forget to subscribe my channel for future updates. I'll see you in my next video. Till then, stay home, stay safe. Bye.